All right, so there's been, well, a bit of a buzz online lately, and it's got people talking, debating, even arguing a bit. Former Australian cricketer Brad Hogg, he he did this thing, kind of a mock interview, poking fun at Pakistani captain Mohammad Rizwan's English.
Yeah, so that
And it wasn't just a quick chirp during a match commentary. It was a whole, almost like a stage skit. And the reaction, let's just say the internet did not hold back.
it's pretty tense. Lots of people were fired up.
Yeah, swift and brutal might be an understatement. And that's what we're all about here, diving into those complex topics that get people talking. So for our listeners who, like us, value knowledge and clarity, we're going to try and untangle all of this. What are the different sides of this story, and where does it all lead us?
Well, a lot of the immediate reactions online focused on the idea that judging a professional athlete,
Hmm.
especially in the sport as global as cricket, based on their English just feels wrong, kind of outdated.
Right, like it's stuck in the past.
Exactly. Like there's this echo of a time when English had a different kind of power in the world.
And that came through in some really strong comments. People were saying we need to move beyond this colonial mindset, the idea that English isn't necessarily everyone's first language, and players should be proud to speak their native tongue, use a translator if they need to. This feeling that national pride is tied to your own language, not English, really seemed to resonate with a lot of folks.
It makes you think about what we really value.
Hmm.
I mean, is being fluent in English the same as being intelligent or a capable professional? When it comes to cricket, a lot of people are saying absolutely not.
And it wasn't just about history or language politics. Some people were straight up critical of Hogg's actions. One comment that stuck with me was this feeling that Australians might be embarrassed by him. Like it went against the whole spirit of sportsmanship, that respect you expect, especially from a former international player.
Yeah, there's this question about responsibility. When you're a public figure, especially an athlete, you're often seen as a role model. So what message does it send when someone like that seems to be mocking another player for their language skills?
And then there's the most basic point of all. These guys are at the top of their game because of their cricketing abilities. Their wicked bowling, their lightning fast fielding, their power hitting. That's what got them there, not their English fluency.
That's so important. We celebrate athletes for what they can do. Language is just a tool for communication. It's not the main event. Think about all the different languages spoken by top cricketers worldwide. It's ridiculous to say their talent hinges on speaking perfect English.
It's almost like saying a Nobel Prize winner in physics should be judged on their handwriting, right? Cricket's about runs and wickets. That's what matters.
Absolutely. Expertise is about specific skills. In cricket, it's all about what happens on the field.
And it's worth noting, Brad Hogg isn't just some random dude with an opinion. He's a World Cup winner. He's got a ton of ODI wickets under his belt, played in the IPL. He knows this sport inside and out.
No doubt, his credentials are solid. He's had a brilliant career.
But, and this is where it gets interesting to me, does being a great player automatically make you a great commentator? Or even a respectful one? It feels like a different game altogether.
I see what you mean. You might be amazing at playing the game, but that doesn't mean you can analyze it or talk about it in a way that's insightful or even just decent.
It's like thinking a fantastic painter would automatically be a brilliant art critic. The skills are related, sure, but they're not the same thing. This whole thing makes you wonder, why is being fluent in English still seen as some kind of measure of intelligence or professionalism? Especially in a sport like cricket, which is played all over the world, what's really going on there?
Well, I think there might be some unconscious bias at play. Because English is so widely spoken and has such a global reach, it can be seen as the default language of success. And that can be magnified in places where, historically, English has had a strong influence.
It's a good point. Imagine if it was the other way around, right? Like someone making fun of a player for not being fluent in Hindi or Urdu or Tamil. That would feel wrong immediately, wouldn't it?
It would. It highlights the way different languages are perceived, the imbalance. What really matters is the message being conveyed, the ideas being shared, not whether someone has a perfect accent in their second language.
Right. When Rizwan is out there batting, what matters are the runs he scores, the catches he takes, his leadership as captain. The scoreboard shows his performance, not his IELTS score.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about what he delivers on the field. Language is important, but it shouldn't overshadow his skills and achievements as a cricketer.
So, looking at Hogg's video again, knowing all this, did he cross a line? There's a difference between some light-hearted banter between players who know each other and using a public platform to make fun of someone for their English. It feels less like humor and more like, well, something else.
I think there's a big difference, yeah. Banter usually involves a level of mutual respect and understanding. When you start targeting something as personal as someone's language, it can feel demeaning, disrespectful.
So maybe this whole incident is a reminder that we need to get rid of this colonial mindset when it comes to global sports. We should be celebrating athletes for what they can do, for their passion and their talent, not their English grammar.
Right. The beauty of global sports is that it brings together so many different people and talents. Focusing on language differences instead of celebrating what these athletes achieve just feels wrong.
It really does. One comment online said if speaking perfect English was all it took, we'd be talking about English professors as the ultimate athletes, not World Cup winning captains. Kind of puts things in perspective, right?
It does. It shows what really counts in the world of sports.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the reaction to Brad Hogg's video, it seems like it's really sparked a conversation about whether English even matters when we're talking about professional athletes, and whether Hogg's actions were all in good fun or something much more problematic.
And it's made us think about our own biases when it comes to communication.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, what does this whole incident tell you about how we value different skills and different ways of communicating? Has it made you question any of your own assumptions about what it means to be successful?
It's a good reminder to think critically about how we judge others and whether our standards are always fair and relevant.
And maybe, looking beyond cricket, in our increasingly global world, we should all be asking ourselves how often we prioritize one way of communicating over others. What amazing things are we missing out on because of that? It's something we're thinking about.
Definitely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive. Until next time.